Hello everybody. I hope everyone had a great week. This week is another check-in episode with myself, talking about my week and what I'm working on in my business. And with the year coming to an end, I'm evaluating which organizations I want to be part of as a business owner. Where do you go to network? Where do you go to further your business, make new connections? Where do you fit in as a professional? So I've been thinking a little bit and I'm wondering what you guys think. Do you belong to professional organizations? Are there, let's say, specific to what you do, specific to your trade, or are they specific, as a woman? Obviously, there are a lot of women's organizations out there, which I belong to one for many, many years, and they always been pretty great. Women like to support fellow women if they, from the same group or whatever. So I've been doing a lot of thinking because some of these professional organizations and chamber of commerces are also not cheap. It's an investment, right? Which is why many people don't even join because they don't see really the benefit of paying a couple of $100s for a year to belong to this organization. What do you get in return? What do you think? Do you belong to organizations? Drop me a note. Let me know. I really would like to hear from you because I'm really debating which organizations I should continue to be a member of in 2022, or should I branch out and join totally new organizations? There has been a women's organization here locally in the Detroit metro area, I believe, that I've been eyeing for a couple of years, but their membership is really high. And I just never really had it in my budget, or as I just mentioned, I'm not sure if the return on investment would make sense for myself right now. Then I've been part of another women's organization for many years. It's and they like to do business amongst each other, which of course is great. And as with most professional organizations, you get to post your offerings. They have every member's business on their website, so you can browse and see what other members are doing. But with COVID, this past year, I feel like, everybody had to adjust to COVID, right? Every business. Some even went under, some thrived, some did really good in adjusting and still offering services. So 2020, we had COVID. Obviously, a lot of things just didn't happen and they idled down a little bit. So 2021, this specific organization that I've been part of off and on for many years, going on for 20. I've been going to their meetings for off and on. I'm not a regular member, but I've been a paying member off and on for many years. I just didn't always go to the meetings. I really liked this organization for the information that they shared, right? So they had a good newsletter. They had, okay offerings, but they also shared my offerings. Many of my first customers with my initial business came from this organization. Again, women like to trade amongst each other if they, know each other. So this organization has been very helpful. But again, 2020 hit. Obviously, many businesses shut down, idle, didn't know what to do. 2021 comes around, and this organization ups their dues. I don't remember the reason. And they really didn't offer anything in 2021. They really didn't pivot. They had a couple of Zoom meetings, I want to say. But this organization always, their topics of offerings, of their own, offerings, always has been kind of like, I don't know. But again, they had other good things going for them. Their newsletter, their members, being able to offer my offering, so share what's going on in my business. So there were for sure a lot of pros, but with 2021, we all kind of tried to find a new normal amongst COVID. So let's say there was another organization that I wasn't part of, but I went to their networking events monthly. They put on monthly safe events. They found a way. My organization that I've been knowing for over 20 years, I don't think they had one own put together event the whole year, but you upped your dues. And when I asked for offerings to be shared over the summer, they didn't even do it here and there. And I know they always had a summer break, But this time it was really long. And, the secretary felt really bad in the end and said, hey, I'm sorry, there's just not much going on and I'm not checking the emails that much. So again, they just were not really able to pivot during this COVID adjustment. So why spend my money there? It's just not any return on investment at this point. So I'm thinking, Michelle, maybe it's time for new organizations to join. So obviously I've been thinking about joining this organization that I've been, whose meetings I've been going to. They have a good leadership team. It's not very stiff, which it's a kind of chamber of commerce, and they tend to be very stiff, these get-togethers sometimes. And you really have to be careful. The local chamber of commerce, for example, in the beginning I joined, and again, it was an investment, but A, it was so stiff going to those get-together and meetings, and B, again, it was my target audience at all. Just the trades and professionals that were there, we just didn't have anything. Our professions didn't align whatsoever, really, so it was really just a waste of time and money. And those are the things that you have to experience and learn, right? You won't know right away just by going to these events what organization, what Chamber of Commerce is for you. There are so many. If you, like myself, outside Detroit Metro Airport, every city around here has a Chamber of Commerce. So I can belong to Detroit, Southfield, Romulus, Oak Park. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's so many cities. I could pay hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just to belong to my local Chamber of Commerces. But again, it doesn't make sense. Just because it's your local Chamber of Commerce, is your networking pool there, that you will learn from and benefit from, and they will benefit from meeting you and your business. So you want to kind of gauge that. So I've been sitting here thinking, this upcoming year, which organization do I want to throw my money at? For me, it's important that I have access to the database. Who are the other members? Who else is in this group? Who might I be able to connect with? So I like if they have a database that you can browse. And it's important for me that I do not really like going to these networking events, but it is important that they do put them on, because I do have to go to some networking events. I believe I spoke in one of my previous episodes about networking. Don't care for it. But as a new business, and to make new connections and get your name and your knowledge out there, you have to mingle. It is what it is, right? So of course I want an organization that is able to put together, especially during COVID, safe networking events. And so those are my thoughts for this week. 2022 is around the corner. Who are we giving our money to? Because it seems like I belong to two organizations right now that I'm looking to axe. One is a Chamber of Commerce, an international one. They are incorporated in Chicago. So they tend to put some events on here in the Detroit metro area, but things also changed with them over the past year. So if I would have known that before I paid my dues, I would have never joined, because it didn't really make sense. So there are two organizations that I'm dropping, which means some money is freeing up. And where will I invest this money? Which organization do I want to go with? Obviously, I work in international trade. It will be an organization that has an international background, so I can mingle with professionals that import and export. So my thoughts for this week. Where should we put our organizational, our networking, our organizational dollars, right? How do we spend it wisely? Because as a small business, as a business owner building a business, every penny counts. And I don't want to invest into an organization that really doesn't benefit me in any type of way, other than that they're taking my money. I get a newsletter every week that doesn't really apply to my business or to myself. It would be a waste. So those are my thoughts for this week. What organizations, what networking organizations or professional organizations or Chamber of Commerce are we joining? And do you belong to your local Chamber of Commerce? Maybe I should rethink that because I did move and it's a totally different area that in outside Detroit. Maybe I should give it another shot. See, so many thoughts. What should I do? So I wish everybody a great week. Thank you for listening and keep going and let's meet our goals together.